Inside Outsider, we bring to you some of the best Tibetan singers with soul of the mountain songs. Please welcome Tenzin Sundu, a Tibetan poet, to take over from me for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
I'm not the singer. I have with me today on stage first Lothen Namling, our first singer. We have a line of 3 singers today, and all of us have come down from Dharamshala with the tinge of winter over there. It's not so much here. Our first singer is Lothen Namling. Lothen Namling is a maverick, a famous Tibetan singer and artist. He plays the Tibetan lute and sings traditional Tibetan songs, such as the songs of the Milarepa, the 6th Dalai Lama songs, and the classical court song and dance called the Nangma. He's born and brought up in India, but now lives in Switzerland. He's been singing, touring different parts of the world, and at the moment he's touring India. He's already traveled to a certain part of North India, and Samanvay is happy to have him on stage this evening. He's going to perform 3 or 4 pieces this evening, and recently a documentary film by the name Tibetan Warrior was launched in Dharamshala. And that film is about his activism, and it's also the life of his singing, his traveling, all of that. There are papers being passed around. Please have a look at that. There are 2 sets of papers. One has a brief about all the 3 singers, and in the other sheet there are the lyrics written both in Tibetan as well as in English. Ladies and gentlemen, help me, join me in welcoming Lothen Namling here this evening.
Hello, Tashdilek, good evening, namaste. I hope me and my colleagues, our songs are not going to be good night songs. It's very late, it's very chilly here, and so we try our best to make it a little bit more refreshing before you go to sleep. It's very nice to be here. I'm very honored. I also speak for my colleagues. It's very beautiful here because we are not playing. They're putting a lot of water. I think it's nice because it's called Yamuna. It's a good, auspicious moment to have a lot of water here. Yamuna will be flooding the next years. We need water anyway. It's very nice because we call it the soul of Tibet. My colleagues, they are originally from Tibet. I mean, originally in the sense, I'm also very original, but I'm born in India. My colleagues, they came from Tibet, climbing up the highest mountains in India and Tibet, the Himalayas. It's also very interesting because, in a way, I'm a very small cartoonist. So I was always inspired by R.K. Lakshman. I was born in India, I grew up in India, then I studied in Delhi University. And in those days, when I was here, the only joy I had was when I woke up and when the newspaper was at the doorsteps, and I start reading. And the first thing, the greatest joy was seeing cartoons. And so I I'm very kind of happy to be, here to have, heard wonderful Indian journalists and cartoonists. So I just wanted to say this. Anyway, the songs we are going to sing, they're very traditional. As you rightly mentioned, they come from the deepest part of Tibet. You can rightly call them as Soul of Tibet. The first song I'm going to sing is a song. It's a song about many thousands of Tibetans who have crossed the Himalayas after the invasion of Tibet by China, and many of these, they have left their also brothers and sisters, parents behind. So this is a song about, in memory of those brothers and sisters left behind the high mountains of the Himalayas. Nyepayu sisho numbales, setsip payutis. Nyepama mushokabu, mukabu hamatis. Nyepayu sisho numbales, setsip payutis. Nyepama mushokabu, mukabu hamatis. Actually a Tibetan warrior song, and it's a song passionately sung by Tibetans, the nomads, and the Tibetan warriors. And the last part where I did this this is kind of to tell that we are alive and come back to Tibet. This is a very typical Tibetan warrior song in East Tibet. Because I was told that there are also many poets, writers, and so I thought that the next song I'm going to sing would suit this moment. The sixth Dalai Lama, Tshang Gyatso, was one of the greatest Tibetan poets who lived on this earth. And the song I'm going to sing is a song he wrote just before he died. For me, this song kind of represents yearning to go back, whether to be reborn or to go back to one's own country. Anyway, the song he wrote is Chade Tungukam, telling them the Tanko Lagos. So, as he was on the top of the mountain looking for an inspiration to come back the next life to serve Tibetan people and all the sentient beings. He was on top of a mountain and he suddenly sees white crane flying over his head. And then he said, "Oh, white crane, lend me your wings. I fly not far away. In the tongue I shall return." So the seventh Brahmana was born in the tongue. This is a Tibetan lute. It's called Kanyen, a melodious one. Second last song is called Harmonious One, and it's a typical, in the classical Tibetan song, we have the Nangmas and the Doshas, and we believe that Nangmas come from the eastern, from the Kashmir and further from the Persia and all these places. And then we have the Turkish, which is kind of like brother, sister, brother, song related to Nangma, but which comes from within the Tibetan spirit. So it's called Sungzeyan. Ooh. just recently, a few days ago, I was in Amritsar, in this place called Jalalabad, where thousands of, or okay, I say hundreds and hundreds of innocent people were killed by the British Raj, and same thing is happening in Tibet today. And because I think it's appropriate also to say, how lucky you are all that you are free here today to talk about literature, to talk about cartooning, in a free world, have this freedom of expression, which my country lacks. We almost have no cartooning in Tibet. We have no freedom of speech, freedom to express. So anyway, this song is a song sung by one of the greatest Tibetan yogis, Jitsun Milarepa, and it has some connection to Indian culture also because a few years ago I was visiting Kolkata, West Bengal, and I noticed that the baul singing, which is over 4,000 years in culture, was actually a great kind of inspiration for one of the greatest Tibetan yogi, Jitsun Milarepa, and his master Marpa. So this is a song, it's actually a poem. Since we don't have much time, probably you can ask me later on what it really means, but I simply want to sing this song in memory of many thousands of Tibetans who have died because of their freedom. 여희나 내주 삼바 조가 미멜룽베 Thank you very much. So my colleagues are coming.
Powerful voice. Next, we have two singers, one Sonam Dorma and the other Jamian Tashi. First, Sonam Dorma. Sonam Dorma was born in Tibet, raised there, and later had to escape to India. She now lives in Dharamshala. She's a professional singer, even while in Tibet. Born in a small village in a nomadic area of Amdo region in eastern Tibet. She's been trained as a singer also. She's performed both in Tibet and also in China. She has performed on many stages as a professional singer in Beijing. Today she lives in Dharamshala with her family, and this is her first performance in a larger audience in the larger Indian town. And look at the journey from Tibet to the capital of India. She's going to perform what is called the Joklu. Now, the Joklu is the traditional type of singing by the Tibetan nomads. Jokpa means nomads. So Joklu is their traditional singing. Nomads sing songs in the pasture land while grazing yaks and sheep. Yaks perhaps the only animal found only on the plateau of Tibet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonam Dorma.
Yeah.
another gem of performer, Jamyan Rashila. Jamyan Rashila, like Sonam Domala, born in Tibet, raised there, and came into exile. Again, he also lives in Dharamshala. He's a professional singer. He lives out of music, singing, performing. He has already made 4 different music CDs individually and also with groups. He is a very famous and a common name among the Tibetan community. Of course, he's among here in Delhi, he's a new face. But among the Tibetan community, Jamyang Tashi is a brand name as a singer. When in Tibet, he was a monk. And then he escaped into India. And for him, singing is a passion. Is a way of living for him. And he wants to continue pursuing that. And he was very excited when I invited him to come down here and join us, this small group of Tibetan singers. He will be singing now, again, a Droglu, and followed by another song. The first one is a Droglu, and in the second one, the lyrics are there in the papers that are around. So first one he will sing alone, and after that is the music. Yeah? Jai Dasara. Thank you.
写着那份情爱
So that was a performance in praise of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who was celebrating his 80th birthday this year, and he performed this song in front of him in Dharamshala this year. Now, the next and the last performance this evening is what is called a Dunglin. It's a genre of Tibetan singing, particularly in the Amdo region of Tibet. Dunglin is a song of lamentation, and it's a particular, very popular way of singing in Amdo region, and both of them are from Amdo. So they will be singing a Dunglin here this evening.
七手把帮人灭多拉耶，女的当参拉真桑卡拉呀努罗耶，女的看起见的帮人灭多拉耶，阿耶巴耶了人桑，巴耶了人桑耶。
So
says, without you, this land is like a body without a soul. And we have a very nice music behind. Okay.
आग बरमाए बोधा कर दूंगे तेरे बन चलाए यार अंधना दूंगे जन आग बरमाए
Good night. Have a nice time. And for the freedom of Tibetan people. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's Sonam Gormala, Loden Namling, and Jamya Dashi. Friends, this is also happening at a time when our country is under Chinese occupation, when for the freedom of Tibet, more than 143 Tibetans have burned themselves to death for freedom of Tibet. This is also happening at a time when we think preserving our culture, celebrating our culture is our only strength. And that basis of it is love and compassion. It is our basic belief. Thank you for joining us this evening.